Hunter is a vibrant, active, healthy 7-year-old female in second grade, and her mom, Crystal, wasn't able to report her actual height and weight, but said that she considers Hunter to be of normal weight, and her doctor has never said otherwise. She has no known food allergies or ongoing health conditions, although her mother did mention that Hunter had chronic constipation as an infant and toddler. This resolved itself without any intervention around the age of 4, but just something to keep in mind for a little later. Hunter was breastfed exclusively for 12 weeks and then fed Earth's Best organic infant formula after she stopped breastfeeding. Hunter is described by her mom as very physically active. She loves to play outdoors. She plays soccer and tennis, wall ball. She dances. And her mother describes Hunter's relationship to food as a good one. She is always willing to try new things, which is really helpful. She says it's a different experience with her brother. And she does like a fair amount of healthy foods. She likes being in the kitchen and helps her mom. Her mom does most of the food preparation, but Hunter definitely participates from time to time. And her mom, again, prepares all of her food except on Wednesdays, which is pizza day at school, and Hunter eats her lunch at school that day. Like most children, she loves pizza. So for help in assessing Hunter's 3-day food diary, I used Super Tracker, which is a really easy to use tool and presents really great, useful information to users, helps users improve upon their diet, know where to make adjustments, and I was able to find some really good things about Hunter's food intake. So I'll start with what's really positive about the things that Hunter's eating. She likes fruit a lot. She eats a lot of fruit and eats it very regularly, so that's going to be really good for getting her some good nutrition. She also drinks mostly water. She drinks lots and lots of water, and her intake of sugar-sweetened beverages is low, except for root beer. She gets root beer with her dad as a treat on the days that he picks her up from school. So that does show up in her food diary, but other than the root beer, again, she's drinking lots and lots of water, which is really great to see, really good habit to have as a young kid. So, she's also eating vegetables. You'll see those scattered throughout her journal, throughout her diary. She eats lots of carrots and she likes salads. So again, really good thing to see. The daily recommended caloric intake for someone her age is about 1,200 calories, and she's definitely meeting that requirement, which is certainly helpful for maintaining her weight. Hunter is described by her mom as a vegetarian. Both her and her mother are vegetarians, and this is where we can start to look at improving upon Hunter's diet. Although a vegetarian diet can be a really healthful lifestyle choice, dietary choice for adults and children, particular attention has to be made to certain macro and micronutrients to avoid problems with growth and development. So to start, Hunter's definitely not getting enough protein, and when she does eat protein, it's mostly coming from a dairy source, which may not be the best option for her given the history we talked about with chronic constipation. Even though the constipation has since resolved, cow's milk allergy is a known cause of constipation in young children, and with that health history, I'd really like to see Hunter remove some of the dairy, if not all of the dairy, and replace that protein source with something else. So there are things like lentils, other beans. You can do hummus as a dip. Tempeh or tofu, nut butters are really good, and high protein grains like amaranth and quinoa. All of those things will help to bring Hunter's protein levels intakes up. If she's replacing some of her dairy intake with other protein sources, she also needs to think about her fat, and certainly the nut butters will give her some healthy fats, but also we can look to incorporate things like coconut oil. Olive oil is good. She eats a fair amount of pasta, like it seems like most kids do, and so maybe just taking a tablespoon of olive oil and putting that on the pasta along with whatever else the pasta is being served with is a way to, again, get her some more healthy fats. And she's looks to be a fan of Mexican food, so I'd like to see her adding things like guacamole to her nachos, her burritos when she eats those, because avocado is a great source of healthy fats, and she does like avocado according to her mom. So guacamole is a would be a great addition. She eats a lot of homemade smoothie pops, which I really like to see, but I think tweaking that recipe would be useful. She can easily trade out the rice milk for hemp milk and improve both the protein and fat content of that fun snack. Pureeing vegetables like spinach too, she could do that and add that in to the recipe. That'll give her some more valuable nutrition. I love that Hunter's mom, says that they spend time together in the kitchen, because this helps to build their relationship, and it also helps Hunter to build a positive relationship to food and healthy food. So that's a really great plus. I also love that Hunter and her mom have a summer garden. So Hunter does a lot of planning and prepping and picking, all the things that are great about gardening. She's participating in during the summer months, and it's known that children who garden eat more fruits and vegetables than kids who don't. So this is another really healthy habit and thing to be incorporating at her young age. Going back though to her nutrition, when it comes to vitamins and minerals, there are some places she can make some big improvements. Looking at calcium, magnesium, her iron and potassium, all of those things are low. And because of her vegetarian status, I'd really like to see her incorporate B complex. Vegetarians are at an increased risk of B12 deficiency in particular, so adding that in would be really valuable for her. And an iron supplement of some sort. Hunter is only getting non-heme forms of iron, which tend to be less bioavailable, and so her iron intake is low, and then what she's actually absorbing is likely to be lower than a non-vegetarian. So it would be useful for her again to supplement with some iron. And then the only other thing I'd really like to see change is her intake of whole grains. It would be useful to add things again like amaranth and quinoa, so that her fiber intake is coming up, because her fiber intake is a little low. Overall though, again, Hunter's building some really great